Over here. You're right on time. Much expected of you, but I still appreciate it all the same. The car's all warmed up. It's still a little cold out, so I made sure to get that done while I waited. Do you like my outfit? I decided to dress up in case we have to stop somewhere. The drive isn't too long, but if someone has to use the restroom or we get a little hungry, it'd be best to be prepared. You do? Thank you. I see you had the same idea. I figured you might, so I didn't want to embarrass you by undressing. Still comfy enough to drive 40 minutes though, so it's a win for everyone involved. Yeah, the ride isn't too long on the roads we're taking. If Diluc took you, I'm sure he'd avoid the expressway. He really enjoys time with you, you know? As do I, but the feeling doesn't seem to be mutual. I would hate to force you into taking the back roads when we could be there sooner than later. Unless you want to? I never did ask about your travel preferences. Are you afraid of the highway? I've met many who were, but didn't think to ask. My apologies. You aren't? Huh. Alright, if you say so. In that case, the quick route it is. Either way, we'll get there before nightfall. Are you excited for the show? I managed to catch Venti on one of his bar visits and talk to him about our trip. He seemed unnaturally excited. I wrote it off as drunk rambling, but now that I'm sober, I have to wonder. Do you have history with that band? Not that it's my business, but again, I have to make sure you stay as comfortable as possible. You agreed to go to the show pretty quickly, so it does raise the question. I mean, you hardly wanted to go to the party we met. I found it a little odd that you'd be willing to travel to another province with me. No, not judging. You don't have to explain anything if you don't want to. I just had to make sure all my cards were on display. What if this comes up later and I come off as a creepy stalker? That wouldn't be fun for either of us. Of course, I am curious, but I'm in no position to prod about your personal life. This trip is about getting to know each other. You'll open up when you're ready. And if you're never ready, well, that's my problem, not your own. But I will have to reiterate one question. How do you feel about this trip? Your nerves don't look any better than they did the last time we met. Is it the same issue? Or have you developed some jitters over this whole thing? A little bit of both? Fair enough. I figured that may have been the case. Is it me? If so, I totally understand. It's not? Ah, I see. So there is some history here. I may not know much about your past, but I can help you in the future. If you ever need a scapegoat, feel free to make up a story about me. What? It wouldn't be the first time I was used to get someone out of a troubling situation. I don't mind a little rumor so long as it means my friends are feeling alright. Besides, damage control isn't difficult in the city of contracts. They seem to value words more than history. It wouldn't be hard to explain a misunderstanding if things got out of hand. Besides, with you, I doubt it would get to that point. You're cunning. Whatever trouble is caused for you, you'll sneak your way out of it in no time. I should learn a thing or two about conflict resolution from you. Perhaps then, things at the office would go smoothly once again. There's been some ruckus, you know. I'm not sure what it's all about because the others won't tell me. Jean says it's better if I stay out of it, but I beg to differ. If there is trouble in my workspace, regardless of whether I'm involved or not, I think I should be involved in solving the problem. We are a team. Sadly, some of our higher-ups seem to think they can take on every troubling matter all on their own. Diluc has the same problem as Miss Jean. though I'm afraid his methods are unorthodox in comparison. If you ever manage to calm him down, give me a pointer or two. Maybe I could use it in the office to get people talking again. It all started after that party, I think. When we left the closet, things were quiet for a while. I assured those curious that nothing happened, but I may have fallen victim to rumors either way. You did look relieved when we stepped out. Of course, those with their heads on straight understood you were just nervous. Wasn't Miss Lisa the one to urge you to play that game to begin with? When push comes to shove, that lot is extremely defensive of my brother. If any of them think we made a move on you, well, they ought to lose all respect for me as a person, let alone a coworker. That might just be why Jean insisted I stay out of things. She may be busy doing damage control for me. That's what happens when you put a bunch of drunk, gossip-hungry people in one room. Still, I'd rather take the fall than cause more trouble. If someone is busy clearing my name, they will be thanked properly when the opportunity arises. Like I said, rumors bother me very little. A rumor is just that. Speculation. What say a man with no proof about my character? Nothing. That's what. If they have something to say, they can say it. But that will never make it true. And so long as it doesn't jeopardize me or my important relationships, what business do I have crying about it? If we spent all our time about caring what other people thought of us, we would never have room for happiness at all. That's what I call this meeting. A little slice of happiness. Two friends getting to know one another. Sadly, that number remains a pair. I attempted to invite D-Luke because his reaction when I told him about this was about as well as you'd expect. He told me to go off and have fun, but that he'd rather not get in the way of our quality time. Though his words were comforting, his tone was cold. I could tell he was uncomfortable with the idea. Understandably so. If I had a big crush on someone and he decided to take them out without me, I'd feel all my progress was on the line. But I'm not Tevat's most wanted. He has nothing to worry about with me. I can sense your loyalty to him, even without a declared relationship. The two of you seem practically head over heels. I wouldn't dare threaten either of your happiness for my own. Do I look selfish to you? Just kidding, don't answer that. I fear what you say is probably not what I'll want to hear. Such impressions are exactly why the turmoil at work has gotten to this point. My actions line up with my intentions, but they also align with the assumed intent people place on me. It is not my responsibility to control what everyone thinks, but it does get the slightest bit annoying when it affects my home life. You look shocked. Don't tell me you thought this whole ordeal wasn't talk of the town. I'm afraid you underestimate how famous your lover is. However, since he isn't going with us, this should be the last we talk of him. And of Mondstadt, for the record. This trip is about us. Sure, all the drama is part of who we are, but it doesn't define us. I want to learn what does. All I know about you is your occupation and the history you have in my town. But it is the present that makes you. I want to know more about your likes, dislikes, interpersonal struggles. Not about what may or may not have happened. I want to take you at face value. Feel free to assume a whole other identity if that's what would make you happy. Just be yourself. Whatever that means at the moment. Sounds good? Good. I won't judge you if you won't judge me. Heck, even if you do, that gives me no right. I'm trying to prove myself, sure, but more importantly, I'm trying to ensure you're comfortable with me. If we become family, don't you think that would be important? Now, come along. I'm sure the car is warm by now. If not because of the lengthy conversation, then probably because of all the hot breath I've spent explaining myself. If you'd like to run in and go say hello before we set off, then... No? Alright then. Off we go. Your bags are in the trunk, yes? Good, good. The dawn of a new day. How special. You know, I'm quite the driver. In fact, I was put in charge of getting supplies to and from all company events. Saying that out loud makes it sound like Miss Jean only sends me out for busy work. That is far from the truth. Though I suppose there is some truth in that assumption. Nothing gets done without all parts of a unit working together. It's why we've had so much trouble since my brother left. Right. I was meant to start bringing him up. Still, I feel this topic is a bit different. I'm not discussing your relationship with him, rather his relationship with the town. Things haven't fully recovered since the incident, especially since Jean was appointed director of our project. She works herself to death day and night. Honestly, I feel if it weren't you in this position, it would be her. But that's neither here nor there. You haven't heard about the incident? That is likely for the best. If I want any chance at you befriending me, it's better that you get to know me before learning of my past. Like I said, we're getting to know each other in the moment, right? Oh, don't worry, it's nothing too bad. Or at least, nothing time cannot heal. I fear my relationship with the people of the city has only plummeted in quality since that day. But once you hit rock bottom, there's really no way but up. I wouldn't leave to start anew. Not if my life depended on it. I care about this city far too much. It takes a decent reason to get me to leave nowadays. I hope you remember that. You're special. To me at least. You represent new beginnings. Your presence alone is enough for me to be confident in the capability of change. In other words, perhaps you're the hope I've longed for all these years. Thank you for that. Whether you know it or not, you may have the potential to save a nation. I wonder if this is what they meant by godsend. You're just that unbelievably remarkable. I want to be you when I grow up. I'm serious. You are an inspiration beyond that of any book or feature film. If I were to write a superhero story, I'd pick you as the main character. You save lives without doing much more than being yourself. A walking miracle. Oh, what? Are you blushing? You must be used to such well-deserved compliments. Feels different coming from me. I'll take that as a compliment then. Maybe it's because we aren't that close yet. My opinion is unbiased, based on whether I like you or not. Though for the record, I most certainly do. I wouldn't spend 40 minutes to an hour driving with someone I didn't like. Honestly, it's unfortunate we're taking off so close to the border. If we could spend more time here, that would be quite nice. Then again, somehow, it feels like you're nodding off to me. Am I boring you? Shh, don't worry, I jest. It is early after all. It makes sense you'd be tired after walking all the way to the winery on a cold morning like this one. Get your rest. I won't let harm come to a single hair on your head while we're on the road. There are too many people who wouldn't forgive me if I did. No, I insist. You need to rest for the days ahead. We're going to every show, after all. You need to be able to enjoy the talent of your old friends. I doubt we'd get very far without them inviting you out for drinks either. You need as much energy as you can get your hands on. Don't worry though. If need be, I'll carry you all the way to bed and tuck you in with the nice bedtime story. You're safe with me. Now, get some sleep, yeah?